And we're live. Hopefully you can hear us. There's a little bit of an echo in here. This is the first time that we are conducting a little cooking experiment, a plant-based cooking experience, and we wanted to jump on a little bit earlier because we know that it takes a few minutes for people to trickle in. So as you're trickling in, say hello, let us know you're here. We're not going to really be able to interact with comments, but we have some good food cooking here. We're going to be making jackfruit tacos today, 100% vegan. And we're going to kind of demonstrate as to how to do this and how easy it can be, as well as how nutritious veganism can be, and it's not boring or bland. Most people ask, well, where do you get your protein as a vegan? That's probably the number one question that we get when we express to people that both of us, well, individually and also together, you know, that we're both vegan. And oftentimes people are so confused because, you know, me coming from a Mexican background, I grew up eating meat. And, you know, so it was a little bit challenging to transition just because it was all I knew. And also, so it took a lot of education, right? It took incorporating just action taking, especially when you know why you're doing it. For myself, it became a health reason, but it also became an ethical reason as I continued to learn more about the importance of plant-based diets. Jessica is my host for today. She's my...
I'm your guest.
Yeah.
Well, we're whatever.
She's my guest. She's my
But I can be hosting.
Yeah, she's my special guest today. And Jessica, the reason why I invited Jessica to be my guest is because Jessica is also a plant-based foodie. We both love vegan food, and especially when it incorporates, you know, natural ingredients, the fusion of really amazing ingredients that are not necessarily ones that you use every single day, like jackfruit, for instance. Have you used jackfruit in your dishes before?
I have, not many times, but I've done it like a barbecue kind of like pulled pork substitute, and so putting it in the slow cooker, although you could just eat it right away, but just to marinate the flavors. So I've done that, like, and just put barbecue sauce over it.
What's great about jackfruit is that it has one of those flavors where you can pretty much infuse any seasoning, any sauce with it. So, like she said, it's really good for like barbecue because it has like a pulled pork consistency.
You can shred it up.
You can shred it up. Like right now, I have it shredded up in a bowl. And I actually, I purchased already a cooked one because jackfruit can be a little bit tricky to, it can be tricky to cut and peel and cook it. Yeah. Like when it's raw, it actually has like the taste of a mango almost. It's filled with fiber. It has like per half cup, it has two grams of protein. So right now we're doing 4 grams of protein just in the jackfruit. And then there's protein in all of the other veggies that we're using. So it's a misconception that you don't get enough protein as a vegan because animals are actually getting their protein from plants. And so when you're eating animal protein, you're actually getting recycled protein. And because our intestines are so long as humans, it takes us a really long time for us to be able to digest animal protein, which is not really that great for our digestive health, especially our gut health. And that's really where our health begins, is from what we put into our mouth to what's going into our gut and how it's being digested. So right now, I already have some veggies cut. I have some onion, some fresh onion. I have, well, one more minute, but it's okay because it's gonna be cooking. So I have bell peppers, I have yellow and red, and I'm gonna be putting these in to my fryer to saute. And so I love to cook my veggies in avocado oil. And the reason why I use avocado oil to cook is because avocado oil is one of the only oils that you can cook at a very high temperature. So up to 500 degrees, you're not gonna lose the nutritional value from avocado oil. And there's a misconception also that we should avoid fats or we should avoid carbs, but in reality, we actually need carbs, we need fats, we need protein, we need sugar in order for our brain to function properly. The difference between all of these, like the fats, the carbs, the sugars, is that you want to make sure that you're getting them from a very natural source, right? So the avocado oil, obviously, and we're going to be using some fresh avocados here. I eat avocado every single day just because, you know, it's going to be really good for my brain health, and it's going to be the type of oil that we need in our body. So right now, Jessica is actually preparing the Pico De Gallo. So in the Pico De Gallo, it's a very simple one, and I like to keep it very simple, even though Mexican dishes can be a little bit complex. But what's great is just using natural ingredients. So in the Pico De Gallo, we used white onion, we used tomato, we used jalapeno, and cilantro. We're gonna use some fresh squeezed lime. We're gonna add a little bit of avocado oil and some salt and black pepper, and voila, there you go. You have an amazing Pico de Gallo that you can put on top of any dish. I mean, you can use it, you know, just for chip scooping, you know, you can use it on top of any dish, really. And so it's gonna add, you know, a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a spice to already a very heavy spiced dish. And so right now I'm making the fajita tacos. So I'm doing, I'm sauteing white onion, bell pepper, so yellow and red. And why do we use organic?
Well, first of all, it's better for you. You're not ingesting all the chemicals and pesticides that are used in traditional farming. That's just to get rid of pests so that they have a better product and like out yield. But that's super bad for the environment. It's creating like super bugs, and when you're ingesting things like that, it's basically like a toxin that you're ingesting, so we want to try to avoid that.
Exactly. And toxins, I mean, toxins can be very detrimental to our health already, right? So, you know, we're constantly inundated with toxins, but it's not just in the food that's being raised, it's and cultivated, you know, like fruits and vegetables. If you're not conscious of where it's coming from, you're more than likely going to get fruits and vegetables that have been sprayed with herbicides and pesticides. And that's not just in the soil, it literally grows in the food. And so you want to make sure that everything that you're putting into your body is as clean as possible.
Right.
We're label readers, but we always suggest that anytime that you are buying food at a grocery store, that you try to stay in the outer perimeters of the store. So obviously, like the fruits and vegetables, and you want to try to buy as much organic as possible. They call them the dirty, like the 30, I think it's like the 30. Yeah, the dirty dozen.
Yeah.
So there are certain fruits and vegetables that you definitely want to buy organic, especially
things that have like not much of a peel to it, like a covering, a protection.
So like bell peppers, for instance.
Or like all the stone fruits. Like nectarines, peaches, like things that can absorb things through their skin. Through their skin,
exactly.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, and remember that our skin is our largest organ on our body, right? So everything that we're ingesting, we're putting into our body, we're breathing, we're putting onto our skin, it's all being absorbed. And we don't think about that, right? It's not really something that we're taught. It's not something that we really think about. So these are things that you really want to take into consideration when you're picking out your ingredients for your food. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Like right now, I did one bell pepper, one red and one yellow, organic. And then I did a white onion. And then I'm going to do some portabella mushrooms. So I cut up some portabella mushrooms. And that, again, is going to add more nutritional value, right? And more protein, right? And it's also going to give it like a very hearty consistency. So it's almost as though with the consistency of the mushrooms and the jackfruit, you're going to get more of like it's almost as though you're going to be eating like shredded chicken or even shredded pork. Exactly.
Meatier.
Meatier. It's more meatier. Yeah, exactly. Mushrooms are a perfect alternative even for like a burger. So you can do, you can cut up like mushrooms really fine, and you can put them in like lentils, black beans, and make them into patty burgers and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to eat meat to always get dishes that are going to be really hearty and filling. Fruits and vegetables are just that.
Or just that remind you of things that you're used to eating. Like, you know, people want that satisfaction. Like, you know, I'm used to eating burgers, and this is the way I eat them, and it just reminds them of that. You kind of get a similar experience as, you know.
Yeah, you do. You get a similar experience, especially like with the consistency of the jackfruit and the mushrooms. It is a little bit more hearty to like bite into, so you kind of do get that almost that feeling that you're eating meat. And then oftentimes it's like when you don't know something, different, it's almost impossible for you to kind of like get out of the perimeters of what you know. So if you're eating the same thing every day, it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to try this, because oftentimes like we're not trying to waste food, right? But if you can find recipes or ingredients that really work, you can infuse them together. Like this fruit is an Asian fruit, but I'm using it in a Mexican style dish.
And you can just get it in cans at the store, right?
Yes, you can.
Get it frozen, and you can get it in cans, and I think it's fairly reasonably priced.
It's very reasonably
available.
It's very reasonably priced. Yeah, like this one is an organic brand. It's actually, since I did already buy it cooked just to save on time, like all you have to do is kind of just like slice it up once you take it out of the can, but it's still really fresh. It's actually it's in lemon juice and water, so it keeps the freshness. But yeah, it's super easy to cook. Like this, once you saute the vegetables and you get them soft, like this dish would take about 15 minutes. I made a little seasoning in here. It's a Southwest seasoning, and I actually made it from scratch. And you can actually buy these already made. Mm-hmm. I like to buy organic seasonings. Do you buy your seasonings organic?
No, but I should.
We're all learning.
Confession time. No, I honestly have never thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, everything, again, it's like we don't think about these things because oftentimes we don't think about, oh, the food that I'm eating, like I can eat whatever I want. The food that I'm eating is not affecting me, but it does. It has a direct communication with our DNA. So you can activate or deactivate your DNA with the food that you're eating. So you want to make sure that you're very conscious about where you're getting your food from and what you're eating, right? Like this is our body, this is our temple, this is our living organism, and we want to make sure that we are taking full responsibility of what we put into our body so that we're functioning at an optimal level. Well, now that since this is cooking right now, let me tell you real quick what I put into these seasonings. So I put a plethora of seasonings, and it's always easier to just like mix them together instead of putting them all at once, because I'm not a measurer. Actually, my mom never taught me how to measure anything. So I don't really use measurements for that reason, just because I'm pretty good at winging it, like I'm doing it right now. I'm really good at winging it, but also I get to kind of taste the flavors as I'm cooking, you know what I mean? So I used oregano. I used a tablespoon, actually a teaspoon of oregano, and then I used ground cumin. So a tablespoon of ground cumin. Cumin is a great seasoning to use in pretty much any dish. I mean, I've used it in Indian dishes. I've used it in Thai dishes. I've used it in Mexican dishes. I mean, it's majority Mexican, right?
Yeah. I'm not crazy about it.
You don't like it?
I like it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I mean, it's a pretty potent taste.
Yeah.
It's a potent taste. But I used garlic. I used chili powder, coriander, and paprika. So all of these seasonings I blended together in a little bowl, and you just pour it over the dish. And so it's gonna give it more of that spice. It's gonna taste like you're eating fajitas. It really does. It's so delicious.
So good.
It smells good. I wish you guys were here to try. But so we Jessica actually lives not too far from me because I just moved to New Mexico back in February, and Jessica and I have been working together on some holistic ways of being able to show people how to incorporate this lifestyle into our life. So Jessica, tell us a little bit about what we do with intermittent fasting and how we implement it into what we eat with conventional food.
So basically, I do intermittent fasting. Well, I hadn't been doing it, but been doing a lot of research on it and been doing it once a week, incorporating it into my routine. And for me, it's just super easy. During intermittent fasting, we're ingesting a product that's supposed to help with cellular cleansing. It's called, it's Isagenix product called Cleanse for Life, and it's got aloe vera and ashwagandha and all kinds of good stuff for you to help you cleanse effectively and in a way that's sustainable, so you're not going to be super hungry all day. So I love it just because it's so easy, and the benefits of intermittent fasting are vast. Like, helps you burn fat, helps with your gut health, helps you feel more awake and alert. You have less mental fog because you're getting rid of all the toxins. What else? Better sleep, mental clarity. One of the things that I also want to interject really quick with intermittent fasting is that earlier I talked about the importance of making sure that everything that we use, including the products that we use, that they're toxin free, because the way that the trend of the industry, I mean, pretty much every industry is in it to make money, right? And so when you're mass producing something, oftentimes you need to make the process a little bit faster. So things are genetically modified. There's toxic ingredients that are put into our products. And if you're not aware of it, you can be putting so many harmful toxins into your body by just breathing. Yeah, that's another thing with like buying organic versus not, is that a lot of the things that aren't organic are genetically modified. So I wouldn't want to put anything that's genetically modified in my body.
Exactly.
It's not natural, that's not naturally occurring.
Exactly. So when you're cleansing your body, it's really important that when you choose a system that you're going to use, that you incorporate a cleansing system that is going to rid your body at a cellular level, and it's not just like a colon cleanse, right? Because when we think about detoxing, oftentimes people are thinking, I need to detox my colon. But in reality, when you detox, you want to make sure that you're doing a full cellular cleanse, so it's cleansing your liver, your kidneys, your cells.
Yeah, and those organs are like always doing that. But this is like an intense version of it.
It is an intense version of it. Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So intermittent fasting is just basically giving your system, your digestive system, a break, so that your body is able to function optimally, and that you can rid your body, but like gently, not something that's going to be really harsh to the body, where you're removing toxins, but you're also putting nutrition back in. So talk a little bit more about the Cleanse for Life. How long have you been cleansing, Jessica?
Since January? Was that 6 months already?
6 months.
Yeah. So I love it. It's a lot of times people have difficulty like with the mental part of it. It's like we're supposed to be eating, and they just, it's hard to get out of that system. But when you have the support system too, is very helpful, of people that are cleansing with you. I mean, I've loved it. I think it's great. I'll never stop.
Yeah. Well, so Jessica started intermittent fasting back in January. Yeah. I introduced her to intermittent fasting because I've been doing it for 5 years. So Isagenix has been a part of my life for 5 years, even though I still live a vegan lifestyle. I do everything holistically. But again, because of the conditions that we live in, oftentimes it takes a lot longer for our bodies to remove those toxins. So if you have, a system in place that helps you, and it actually makes the process so much easier, don't you agree? Because I mean, you have snacks, approved snacks that you can do on cleanse days, so it doesn't seem as taxing. I've been doing 48-hour cleanses for 5 years, consistently every month. And I mean, you have to develop a discipline for it. It's not something that like it became very easy to me when I started doing it. In fact, I had already been marathon training for 3 years before I started doing intermittent fasting. Right. And so the mindset that I was able to cultivate through that time helped me realize that, you know what, this really doesn't have to be that hard if you have a system in place. And so Isagenix really just helped us have a better system where we can not always have to worry about cooking this type of food. I love to cook and I love home cooked meals. But I also love to eat out and I love to enjoy restaurants. And like when Jessica and I, we're both the same way. Like when you travel, do you like to try like new vegan restaurants and stuff like that? So trying new vegan restaurants and stuff gives you the ability to like try, new flavors. You're able to play with it and actually incorporate it into your own cooking style. So you can pretty much infuse anything. Like all of my mom's Mexican dishes, I've been able to convert to vegan. But it makes it so much easier to be able to have a system like Isagenix. Talk about the shakes, Jessica.
Sure. So we have plant-based shakes and whey-based shakes, and you don't have to be vegan to be part of the Isagenix, products line, or if you're interested in it. But the shakes that I consume are plant-based, so they are pea protein and rice protein. They have digestive enzymes in there, so they're super easy to digest. Full of vitamins and minerals, super convenient and filling. So it is a full meal replacement. It's 250 calories. 24 grams of protein. Yeah, I mean, for me, it makes life really easy. Then I can just carry it with me, and I know I'm getting good nutrition, and I take it to work. I work at a hospital. I work 12 hours, so I need something I know is gonna be sustaining my health and my nutrition.
Yes.
It's so easy to just, I mean, I don't know how many times like I go to work and there's stuff there that is just like, I want to eat it, but I'm like, I know that in the end it's not going to be that great for me. And I mean, I still eat those things on occasion, but I try to just, give my body what it really needs in the end. So
one of the
I love them.
One of the great things about these shakes too, like I travel with these all the time. So, you don't sometimes, especially when you're out on the road, it's really hard for you to find food that could be very filling and satiable. And oftentimes you're not going to have restaurants that are going to cook either plant-based meals or farm-to-table meals, right? I love farm-to-table because majority of the time, these restaurants that are cooking, these are people that are specialized,
they're
right?
Like and hyper-aware.
They're hyper-aware.
Yeah. Everything comes from.
Exactly. Especially chefs that are very mindful about and conscious about just the planet and, food. And so they infuse their food with so much love, but also with the ingredients that they're using. So, but oftentimes, like, these are not disposable or available to you if you're traveling or if you're out on the road and you don't want to stop at a fast food restaurant. So having meals like this is really good for you, when you're at home and you have the time to prep and to be conscious of that. But these shakes, like, honestly, I always have 1 or 2 of them in my bag, and I always have water with me. Shake it up real quick, and this is my meal replacement. And I like to do 1 or 2 of these a day. Do you do 2 or 1?
I would say average is 2.
Average is 2?
Averaging 2, yeah.
Yeah, and Jessica's not doing this for weight loss. I started doing this for weight loss. In fact, I've lost 45 pounds since I've been consistently doing this. But it's taken time to nurture, to cultivate, to develop a discipline, to learn what works for your body and what doesn't. Because to be honest with you, there's even plant-based foods that affect my stomach, my digestive system. I get really bloated sometimes. Like, it's the truth. It's the truth, right? So you have to find foods that work for you, but all about experimenting, having the willingness to try and be adventurous with your foods, right? Because if you are, you can find some amazing foods that you've never tried before, and you're like, okay, I think I could do this, right? So whoever is joining us right now, we're doing a demonstration of how to make jackfruit fajitas. Mexican style. So this is already done. So it's been sauteed already. So what I'm gonna do?
Like probably done a little while ago, and so it's only been 20 minutes.
It's been 20 minutes. So literally, I'm just showing. Like we want to show you how easy it could be. It doesn't have to take a lot of time as long as you know what ingredients you're using. So I'm gonna use some corn tortillas, and I'm gonna just cook it here on this platter where I was cooking my my fajitas. Mm-hmm. And so for half of a cup of jackfruit, you're looking at about 40 calories, 2 grams of protein, fiber, manganese. You get, there's some pretty high active ingredients in these vegetables and this fruit that I used right now. Mm-hmm. So you are getting a very nutritious, well-balanced meal just by just with this dish. And what's great about jackfruit, you used it with barbecue?
Yeah.
So you've made like the pulled pork sandwiches?
Mm-hmm.
So I've made pulled pork sandwiches too before with this.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean,
and you can use so if you had food left over after you've made these tacos, did you put the lime in there?
No.
Okay, so squeeze the lime in there.
Here we go.
So if you have leftovers, once you've
just went half or the whole one.
You can actually do half, and then do a little bit of sea salt. A little bit of sea salt, a little bit of black salt or black pepper. Cut up avocado here. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Please leave some comments if this has been very helpful for you. Just because, we need definitely more education, right, on how we can feel better every single day. To be able to nourish our bodies properly and just to eat good, nutritious food. Food can really bring people together. Yeah. It really. Oh, let me get you a spoon. And by the way, I want to thank my sister, my beautiful sister Myrna, for allowing us her beautiful kitchen. It's just it definitely gives us the space to be able to have a little bit more room to eat some good food, prep, and teach you guys. So I'm cutting up an avocado here, and I just warmed up my tortilla. So just like a regular taco. Put some avocado. It is hot, huh?
It's getting warm.
It's getting warm. I'm going to turn this off. Let's see.
I'm going to do a little. Is this going to be yours?
Oh, you can.
I'm just worried about the jalapeno because I put a lot.
She put a lot of jalapeno. So in order to see, I'm Mexican, and what's so funny is that I'm Mexican and I can't even do hot chili anymore. I feel like I'm so weak. My mom makes these really spicy chili, and
but I can make yourself one too. Though.
I will.
We can eat together.
It is really hot right now. Shoot. I turned off. I lowered the air because I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear us because I don't have a microphone. We're kind of just we're doing this the non-professional way.
It's fine. That looks great. Thank you.
Let's show it to the audience.
Okay, my fingers move it in there.
Here. Yeah, so here. So look at how delicious this looks. This beautiful jackfruit taco with avocado and a fresh Pico De Gallo. And so we were able to teach you, how to make this jackfruit, how to have a very nutritious meal, as well as other options, with isogenics, because obviously isogenics is not the only solution.
No.
You can get tons of really great ingredients and nutrients, through other systems, because people always ask us, well, what's the difference between this and something else? Well, I can't tell you that, something is not as great or whatever, but through our experience, it has been very life-changing and altering, and, being surrounded with people that can really help you, through your goals. Jessica, how have you been feeling these days?
Well, let me tell you. No, I feel great. Honestly, I feel kind of cheesy answering that, but I honestly haven't felt better in my life. Like Rebecca had said, I've been vegan for 3.5 years, and about 6 months ago, I was not feeling the best. I kept getting sick, and I felt like my immunity and my nutrition just wasn't there. And all these products are just helping me feel like I should feel every day, like the best I can feel. And knowing that I'm getting that nutrition is like everything to me, because I would always like overthink, like, okay, like make sure I get this and that. And knowing that I already have all those things.
Yes.
That's, to me, that's everything. Like, that's worth the money.
Absolutely. And the convenience of it too, right? Because I remember talking to her for the first time about even just doing isogenics, right? And she's like, well, I'm vegan and like, I don't really eat that healthy either, because you know what? There's a junk food vegans that do this for the planet.
Well, I'm a little bit of both.
I'm a little bit of both.
I would say I dabble.
Oh yeah, totally. I love like the vegan chips and like the vegan cookies and all of that stuff. Because this isn't about restricting, right? No. It's not about taking away all the things you love. It really is more about utilizing some really amazing tools that are already available, but also to just like not have to really worry about it that much. Like we all know that we want to live healthy, right? But oftentimes it can be so daunting to like take on this task of healing your body naturally. And I know for a fact that it's been a lot of discipline and a lot of self-sacrifice, you know what I mean? Like eliminating a lot of toxic habits within myself that I've had for numerous years. And that takes a really long time to accomplish. But I want you to know, and Jessica and I are here to, you know, teach you and to let you know that there's always tools available if you're just open.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be about isogenics.
No.
Like we love isogenics, and we will always like love it. But it could be just about plant-based living, or you know, health and wellness.
Our goal here is just to teach people that it can be done, and that we can live in a very environmentally friendly planet with a lot of healthy people if everybody does their part, and it doesn't have to be that hard. We have been using these tools. I like to say that isogenics is it's my tool in my toolbox when I don't really have the time or the energy to make myself food, and it's just been a convenient thing for me to implement it every single day. So this conventional food that we're making here is just teaching you that you can have fun with food, that you can eat really healthy and conscious and still have fun and have a lot of flavor. Exactly. Take a bite, and I'll take one too.
Oh gosh.
Oh shoot.
Real loud.
Yes. What do you think?
I can't talk. Yeah, actually good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so good. I actually made these for my mom's birthday like 2 weeks ago, and everybody that was in this house enjoyed a full plant-based, 100% vegan menu, and they weren't vegan, and they loved it. They were actually really surprised at how good it tastes. So again, you can infuse Isaac, you've had my food, boy. It's all in the spices. You're right. And these spices that I used are so good. Did you like it?
That's really good.
Oh my God, so good. I'm so excited. So don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to serve. We are here to teach, and we're here to make your life more convenient, because I'm telling you, like, this lifestyle, you can't get bored with it if you know how to do it right. And you have the ability to heal your body when you're intentional with it. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Jessica, do you have anything else to say? I'm so excited you liked it.
No, I love this, and I'm just so happy we're doing this, and I hope everyone got something out of it. Like,
yay!
Something positive. If it's just like inspiration, like that's worth it to us, I think. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time.
All right.
Peace.
Bye, guys. I'll be eating.